practice, but defensively, when they're able to accumulate that many yards in a game, like what do you say? Hey, this is our biggest problem right now. Do you tell your kids?
Well, we didn't do anything well the other day. We lined up wrong. I mean, just in basic calls. I had to call three timeouts in the first half because um, we just we weren't lined up. I mean, one time we are getting ready to blitz and we weren't even covered down. And I mean, so I ran over and called timeout. I mean, um, we had 22 missed tackles. So I mean, it was a perfect storm of it was a comedy of errors, and uh, and it's unacceptable. And I mean, just lining up wrong. I mean, number of times, and um, I mean, it's more was it was not as much the guys up front. It's the back seven, and uh, and that's we got to get that fixed. We got to get some things. Um, trying to turn over every every stone that, and doing everything we possibly can to get this thing turned around. It's almost like, and I can't put a finger. It's almost like it's what since the I don't know whether they get out. We go out onto the field for the game and we lose our what and I don't know why. I'm trying to. It's frustrating at this point, and where we can, in all three phases, we're also looking at trying to weigh the the possibility of playing some younger guys where possible. Um, but you also don't want to put them in there, when they're not ready. They've been on scout team and that type of thing, and so in some cases. So in some cases, we're gonna, get some young guys in there, and so you got to weigh the benefits of putting them in there and get some experience, and or you wait until spring ball to guy to kind of get them going. This freshman class we have is really talented. I think it's probably our best recruiting class, like top to bottom. Um, but you don't want to do it at the expense of them and of giving yourself a chance to your best chance to win.
It seems like since the South Dakota State game, that second half has kind of
Yeah,
settled down.
yeah. It's like it's hard to explain. It really is, and because bottom line is we got to coach it better, and I mean it comes down to that. I mean I take responsibility for it. It's um, simple as that. It's um, I can't, especially when you there are a number of things that you run during the week a number of times, and then you go out in the game and line wrong or um, but even fundamentally on Saturday, if I'm sitting there and I'm watching, um, it's if I'm watching that game as a coach, and that's an opponent film, I'm saying, dude, those kids look like they haven't even been coached. Fundamentally, we were bad especially in the tackling area, um, and really we weren't lined up structurally right, and so it has me shaking my head a little bit.
Do you think you're getting the most out of the kids now?
Well, I didn't get most out of them on Saturday, and more so on defense. I mean, on offense, we did some good things early. I mean, we missed a couple throws. I thought Joe played pretty well, but I mean, he left a couple things out there also, and we dropped the ball on third down. It was a big, you know, and then we kind of fought back. Kind of got it, felt like we had it going in the right direction, and we kind of fought through the whole thing, and had a couple opportunities to either tie the game or get within seven, and missed a throw and had a drop, and then but we had the ball coming out for the second half. We had a couple stop three, two or three stops right in a row defensively, and then we let the punt hit us, and it was like that took the wind out of our sails.
Well, you've been coaching for a long time. I mean, is this the most difficult challenge you faced? You have faced?
Yeah, I'm frustrated. I'm really frustrated because I've seen this team do it. and do it, play pretty well, and then. But I can say this too, that some of the errors that we've made, even like, I mean, I've said it early on. We made some of those errors early in the year. That some of those ones that have you shaking your head, like, um, and it's frustrating.
You hinted at a little bit about playing some of the younger kids. How tough of a decision is that for you as a coach to, when some of the goals that you set out in the preseason are unattainable at this point, to kind of turn the page and say, hey, listen, we got to start focusing on the future here because, and is there a big benefit in getting some of those freshman game experience for next year?
Well, I mean, like I said, you want to do, you don't want to do it at their expense either. You don't want to put a kid in there cold without, because that can work against you too. If he's not ready, I mean, that you don't want to put, um, you don't want to put them in a position to. You want to give them the best chance to win. If they're not ready, and best chance to perform well. If they're not quite ready, um, then you're better off waiting. So it's a lot of it has to do with practice and there's a lot of different circumstances. You got to weigh all those things and then make your decisions and go forward.
How tough of a decision is it to make though? Because you get to that point as a coach, you don't want to say you're giving up on the guys that got you here, but at some point, I mean, you got to do what's best for the program.
Absolutely, it's like I said, you got to weigh all the alternatives.
You seemed pretty confident last week that this team would kind of show up on Saturday and be ready. Why do you think it didn't happen?
I don't know. That's hard to explain. And I've said this, and I know these kids. What the want to is there. Um, they practice hard, um, you know, but for whatever reason, and I've asked them. I said, why? When we go out sometimes when you go out for the game, I don't know whether they're putting too much pressure on themselves or um, you can't. Uh, it's hard to come to grips with. Like it's hard for me. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been search like why is that happening? Like why are we making some of the mistakes we make on game day? And because it's not because it's overcomplicated. If anything, we've gone the other way. Um, but it's just like even some just basic alignment errors that are putting ourselves out of position are have me scratching my head. And especially when they can answer the question of they know what to do, but in the moment they don't do it, and it's frustrating. I don't know whether it's a loss of confidence. I don't know what it is. You just got to keep teaching them, and like I said, at the end of the day, you got to coach it better.
How's Joe doing? I know he missed most of that last game, at least the rest of
Um, I think he's better today than he was at this point last week. So I think he's got a shot at it. We'll see what happens. It's kind of day to day with him. Yeah, go ahead.
Indiana State's kind of in the same position, though, but they've struggled a little bit. So how do you kind of?
Yeah, they've played well. I mean, they've played. They've done a lot of good things. They've been in a lot of football games. They're going to play hard. They're pretty good defensively. They lost their quarterback like us, and so they're kind of trying to find it. At times offensively. Um, but they're a very capable team. They play hard. They're well coached. Um, it'll be a it'll be I'm worried about us. I'm worried. We got to do our thing and we got to execute what we're trying to get done, and because that's really what's holding this football team back. I mean it's doing the things that are going to give yourself a chance to win.
Do you feel like you have an idea of where they're at? Mentally, they're kind of keeping it together for the most part. Obviously, it's tough when you're in this kind of position, but
Yeah, I think that they're. I mean they're competitive. They're competitors. I mean they're embarrassed. I mean you could have heard a pin drop on the bus ride and the plane home um, and really even in the team meeting on Sunday we had some hard. I mean it was a uh, pretty hard come to Jesus, but they you feel for these kids. I mean that no one goes out on the field wanting to make mistakes, and you know it's you gotta you go through tough times in life. You gotta persevere, fight through it, and keep going, and that's the only way you can go. You can't turn your tail and run. You got to man up and accept responsibility for what's going on, myself included, and keep pushing forward. That's the way. That's the only way you get out of ruts like this.
You mentioned that he has to stay a little bit defensively. I know they got a pretty good linebacker. He's a big kid, I think, number 46. How good that's a good guy.
He's a good player. He's physical, bigger guy. They play a lot of man to man. They're I would say they're a lot of single high defense, pretty aggressive up front, physical. They play hard, and he's one of their leaders. He's played a lot of football, and he's a good football player.